radiant wellness and soul-forward living. Join your host, Jess Juntunen, quantum healer, intuitive, and midwife to the awakening spirit, as we dive into quantum tools, wisdom teachings, and integrated healing pathways for transformation. You can live a life of freedom to be without limitation. Cozy up, grab your tea, and enjoy this hour of expansion, wisdom, and love. Namaste, hello, and welcome to Soul Fusion Cafe. I'm Jess Juntunen, your host for the hour here on Tuesdays at noon Eastern and 9 a.m. Pacific at Oneness Talk Radio, Oneness Talk Radio YouTube, Oneness Talk Radio Facebook, OnenessTalkRadio.com. An incredible place to receive the blessings of so many powerful hosts that are sharing messages of upliftment and love with the world. It truly is an incredible network to tune into, be part of. If you're on YouTube or get to YouTube, please subscribe to us so you can be informed of other incredible shows when they pop up from our talented range of hosts with all kinds of things to share. So I'm Jess Juntunen. This is my power hour of ascension, self-ascended living, how to really, live your most radiant, best life through the blessing that is the yoga of self-ascension. And, I really have always long considered myself in a role as a midwife or a doula. I am a doula, a birth doula. It was my first actual love and way of coming into, I think, more formally being a healer and one who supports other beings on their journeys. And that was such an incredible blessing. And I still love the blessing of being at a birth. But these days, it's more about supporting the spiritual birth and midwifing people through that process. Um, and it's, always is such a gift because I felt a real confidence in the birth room after I got those first births under my belt, and really being there with a mom and her family and the baby when the baby would come in that portal, and just being able to support in that role. I always felt very much in my element. And it was something I always knew I wanted to do since I had an incredible doula and midwife for my own births. And when I came to doing healing work and coaching, counseling, energy healing, Avesa, energy work, medical intuitive, I've been doing that. I saw it. That's been 8 years now. It's been 8 years almost, like, and a week, like, I mean, to the day, just about, since I officially hung up my little shingle and started serving people that way. And had to walk through a lot longer period of time with my own confidence at that time of being a healer and being that person, because I had felt in many ways. I mean, I was in my 30s at that point, and I thought, well, who wants to listen to, a 35-year-old, 34, whatever I was. It's kind of wild when I think about it that I was doing that, right? And I was concerned. I'd moved into an office that had previously been run by a very experienced, long-standing healer and intuitive in our community, and I felt like the imposter syndrome, everything my ego could throw at me. And when I really felt into it, though, I knew where my confidence came from was like, this is just like the birthing process, and I know how to support people through this. So I've always loved how, and I flourished. I did. And I've loved how these worlds do parallel each other, that through the birth process that all mammals go through on this planet, there is such it's synonymous to our spiritual path. There's such a journey that is completed. And no matter what, a baby is born at the end of that process. And it's like the same for us, no matter what you go through, you're on this journey, you go through a labor and contractions, you have many babies during your lifetime, on your spiritual growth and path. that it's so similar to what happens in that birthing room. It is the same thing that we have to go through, surrendering. And it's so the yoga of self ascension, you know? So I just absolutely love all of the things that are happening on our planet right now, because it is, we've been in this birthing, rebirthing energy for years, really now. I mean, it's very much, been something we've all been working through and walking through. And you know, if you're in the chat and you want to share with one another, you know, your own experiences and what you're experiencing as you walk through these times, it is the Kali Yuga, it is the time of the rebirth. And you know, we've walked through a lot of darkness, humanity, in these past centuries, in this past millennia, you know, and this return to the light that we're in. And there are all of these cycles. And you know, you can look at a lot of different teachings and uh, astrology, different messages that come out, and a lot of them do correlate. There's a lot of um, overlap, and you know, we have a lot of understanding from all these ancient sciences, from different realms that really support us. And the realm, though, that I really play and work in is the self ascension, ascended numerology, the messages and readings that come through Master Lady Kira Ra, wisdom teacher Sri Ram Ka, with the yoga of self ascension, because it's been bar none the most incredible experience of my life to journey with these sciences and the ensoulments and energies that come through this couple. That, you know, if you're new here or you've never tuned in, a lot of our community here does track with Shri and Kira. However, not everyone that comes here does, you know. So if anything I'm sharing resonates for you, I always, you know, I suggest, no matter what, always go check out shriandkira.com and go to official Shri and Kira YouTube. And here at Oneness Talk Radio, Shri and Kira is live every Sunday at noon Eastern time with their live broadcast. So it's very important to connect and reconnect with those messages, because there's always something more to be found. I always receive something new every time I do, and it's so rich. And you know, their predictions, if you want to call them predictions, have been so accurate and so spot on over the years that it's just like, look at other things and they might corroborate it, but it's just like you don't even need to. It's like really just staying with the path, because what's being delivered through them is such pure energetic frequency that's coming from realms outside of earth that are being delivered to us. We have such a gift in that we are receiving the pure messages, not filtered. You know, I channel, and I know many of you channel. Everyone channels, even if you think you don't channel. We are all channeling the divine. We're all tuning into that frequency, and we all have our egoic overlay. So sometimes that egoic overlay comes in and says, well, you know, I think this information I'm channeling means this or that. We can't help ourselves. We apply our own circumstances and meaning and ego to it. However, when messages come through Master Lady Kira Ra and Wisdom Teacher Sharam Ka holds her while those messages come through, so it's through both of them, there isn't a filter. That is to say, like, the ego actually steps aside, since they are one soul. He's holding her soul as these messages are delivered through her, so they are so pure. And when you connect with the ensoulments or energies, it's just, um, you're receiving that pure connection and an infusion just by connecting with the word. So you know, I just always just bow before them, and what comes forward and everything that's been predicted over these last 7 years. I mean, it's, this was the year that was going to be, you know, World War III or planetary peace and harmony. And we, boy, are we sitting in it, you know. And every year that they'd put out for the 7 years has been so spot on and so accurate, you know. And it's even out of a sense of fear, World War III or whatever, but it's happening, you know, it's happening, right? Whether or not, you know, uh, we want to agree with that or know that, it's, but the war is for your consciousness. It really, really is right now. And there is so much energy, and that's July, you know, and today is a lot about July energies and what we have going on this month, and just really hoping this is a touchstone of support. And those of you that have been tracking with Shri and Kira and their work, you know that Saturday we had an incredible mastery mentoring call. If you are not part of that, and you're part of this Minga and community, please join that. You get the app, the free app, Spiritual Mastery with Shri and Kira. There's so much on there that is free and incredible. And then if you want to become a member, there's many options to upgrade to at whatever level you're comfortable contributing at, starting at a very small contribution where you can be live at that monthly gathering, because so much information is shared there about the month ahead. It really helps. It really helps, So this show, I do hope to, is a touchstone to just keep reminding us of, you're not crazy, you're not alone. Here's what's happening for the month. So we've been transiting since Saturday with a powerful trinity of mastery mentoring. We had Sunday service, and then we had Monday magic last night. If you're not in Monday Magic, please join us. Please be there. Monday Magic is such an incredible blessing and gift for everybody. And it's another opportunity to not only dive into the energies of the month, but to activate, to ensoul, to anchor, to support our planet. We are here out of 7 billion people. You're checking out this show live or on the recording. There's not an accident, and we make a difference. And it doesn't take all 7 billion to wake up at once. Thank goodness. We couldn't do it. But it does take enough of us to wake up in order to affect the outcome, the changes for humanity. And July is just huge. It is that Kali Yuga moment that we've been navigating a while. The light is coming, but we have to we have to stand our ground. We have to do our work. We can't just, if you know that you're one that's here to help, we can't just sit back and couch surf. Not that you can't take a Netflix break on your couch or something, sometimes, but you have to be in an active state every day, creating that which you want to see on this planet. Because if you don't, there's not another opportunity. This is that opportunity. Sacred sequence of incarnation that comes in through ascended numerology and ancient sciency. It's really profound to know that if you receive your sacred sequence of incarnation, your numbers, you are receiving the blessing of knowing who you are on such a deep level. And whether or not you receive your numbers or know all of that, we come in, we pick our parents, place will be born, we pick the people that we're going to be around, we pick the parents who will pick the name for us, and all of those things add up to an imprint, like the date, the place, your name, all become this energy of the story of you. It's your foundation, and you keep building on it, and you evolve with it and move through it in different ways, and you'll always have your own highlighted uniques and talents and things because of your incarnation, but that you came in on purpose. I came in 42 and some months ago, because 42 years and some months ago, so that I could be 42 right now at this time, this timeline, in this place, in this potentiality, so that I would be here now, just like it. And whether or not we want to believe that or not, it is something that every soul has chosen for itself. And it seemed crazy, like, what, I picked those parents, what, I wouldn't do that, when we first think about it. But when you really understand your sacred sequence of incarnation, when you really understand, like, I came here with a purpose to learn, to grow, to be where I am right now. When you see the gifts of every experience you've gone through to get to here, the good, the bad, the ugly, knowing that they all needed to happen to make you who you are right now. If you hadn't experienced all of that, you could not be you. I could not be me without going through what I went through, right? And that's really the mastery moment and mastery discernment when we say, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful, even for the hard things, because they made me who I am. And without the grit, I wouldn't have the compassion, the love, the wisdom that I have and can share with the world, right? Without having gone through it, how do you share the experience of others? And prayerfully that the beings ahead don't have to go through as much as many of us really pave the. If we do our job here, they will have less that they have to work through. And a lot of the beings coming in, they have much less that they have uh, to deal with karmically, or cleaning up. Some of us have to go through so much stuff because we have a long time. Some of these souls are coming in that haven't had to go through as much and don't have as much to clear up, or we are doing the work so they have less to do. As a lineage holder, I'm getting like the goosebumps. As a lineage holder, we have the capacity to change the comes from past, future. We can heal up and down our lineage, which is very remarkable. And you have your lineage of your blood family, your lineage that you've descended from, and you can heal in that lineage. But we also have the grander lineage of our human family of beings, the ones that are here to um I'm trying to do a share screen. um so there we go. I think you're seeing my screen. So the global meditation for consciousness of humanity, that is happening on July 13th. This is all about the lineage holders. This is all about that connection and time that we can come together. Um, and let's see. Oh, let me bring it back up. I have to learn Restream. Oh, and it closed my window. So we were looking at was the lineage holders July 13th graphic for this global meditation for humanity. And this is a moment where, it's about coming together. It's about remembering the truth of who we are. So, yes, if you're a lineage holder, whether you know it or not, but you feel like you have a greater purpose, you're here for something bigger uh, than just your day to day. That there's hope for humanity. In your heart that there's something that can be done to mitigate the damages that have happened to our planet. That there's an opportunity for all beings to arise, to become the truth of their beingness. Inside of you that there's just got to be another way. This is that moment. This July 13th is going to happen on the full moon. So, by the way, my full moon ceremony is this global meditation. I will be there and invite everyone to join for that. A very powerful date. And, when we come together, we do potentiality surfing, we shift timelines. We never exactly know where we're going to be guided or what we will do, but we will absolutely go places and change outcomes. And we need 1,000 of us there. We really need 1,000 of us there to help humanity, uh, to keep expanding and to keep the light going, because everything is expanding right now. The light, the dark, ego, soul, all those presences on our planet. So Global Minga for positive shift, Global Minga is our community. That's all of us. That's all of us coming together to support the shift for humanity. This is a big deal. It's not just a class or a regular meditation. It's a moment to absolutely come together and take a stand. So go and register at shriankira.com. Please go register there, because it really is It's important. It's critical. And here's what I'm telling people too. It's like the best way to share if you're already registered, or if you're thinking you're going to register but you're waiting, please don't go. Just register now. You can register for as little as $1. It's a Shakti exchange. It all goes to our global Minga projects. And this, the more people that are in it, the sooner they're in it, the more we expand it. We were very sad when we learned, like last week, that we were at 100 registrations after all of the heart we're pouring in and putting it out there. And we're calling it the lineage holder gathering. Now we are calling it that global meditation for consciousness of humanity. More people understand global meditation, right? So who do you know that you can share this with? The most powerful way to share is to let people get like, this is what I've learned from my own leadership training, and how I got a lot of my coaching clients when I was really putting myself out there like that for individual sessions. I've got to drink some of my coffee. Thank you. Also, I love this mug. Not all who wander are lost. One of the most powerful ways you can get people um, to involved is to share it with them personally. We all see a lot of emails and social media posts and they go by us. The most powerful way is to make an offer to people without any attachment to the outcome. You're not trying to make people do it. What you're trying to do is to assist them to see the benefit of signing up. Everyone wants to know what's in it for them. What's in it for me? That's what everyone wants to know at the end of the day. So, it's like, what's in it for you? Actual support. Do you feel alone? Do you feel like you need a connection point? Do you feel like there is more for humanity, and you're here to help, and you have gifts? Do you feel a greater mission, that that things can be different for this world? And a lot of people understand both aspects of, like, what's in it for me, what's in it for humanity, in your circles. So you can speak to both. It's like, you're going to receive not only this upliftment and support, but think about being able to affect the outcome for humanity. Think about what happens when 1,000 of us come together to intentionally support the up level of humanity for healing and peace, and to bring that forward. And the most powerful way is to hop on, like, go through your contacts, or go on a Facebook Messenger and, like, leave a little voice. It's just like, hey, I would love to chat with you about something that is very important to me, that I think you would be interested in. And it's a very good practice, if you are a healer and somebody that is out there offering your gifts and services, to start connecting with people that way too. Or whatever, if you're an entrepreneur or a leader, it's like the one-to-one connection. More often than not, when people just get to hear from you in your own words and have a conversation that's not pushy or not salesy, it's just an invitation that just says, hey, I thought of you. I really thought it would be important you be there. I see you there. How can I help you sign up? Maybe you help them through the registration process. I mean, if every one of us, if there's like 100 of us that signed up now, it's climbing, but if every one of us could get 10 people, right, we're there. We're there. So reach out, every day, one person a day between now and then. We have 10 days. So, well, less now. So maybe a couple of people a day. So, it's very important. Very, very important. So I'm seeing some beautiful sharings in the chat. I love, Angel, that you wrote a blog about group and meditation and you invited people. Thank you so much for writing a blog and sharing that. Send me your blog post. I'd love to see that. I'll share that over on my page. Absolutely. That's awesome. Pauline's been sharing about the 9 days and lineage holder. Yes, we have the 9 days right now too. I wanted to share that because that really feeds into this, right? We have the 9 days. So thank you for sharing that, Pauline. And thank you for sharing with people. Beautiful. So many beautiful sharings. Yes, sacred grace, 1,000 points of light. Beautiful. I love all of you and all your sharings at YouTube, at Facebook. It's very amazing to connect with everybody. So we right now have 9 days of unification that are leading to that July 13th date, right? 9 days of unification to really come together. And the ninth day will be the 13th. It will be the day that we all come together in this ceremony. And I am so honored to be a part of this. I'm working on sharing screen here. I've been learning a whole new computer. Oh, that's so weird. Where did my picture go? Bear with me. Okay, share window. Uh-huh. All right. So the 9 days of unification, upliftment of consciousness of humanity, kicked off yesterday. You can get the day one message at Facebook at the Shri and Kira official Shri and Kira, or at YouTube official Shri and Kira, by being on the newsletter list. If you go to shriankira.com, day two today is Karuna, and Karuna is such an amazing, incredible being. I really should bring her on my show if she would be so inclined someday. She is not only a yogini, but an incredible being that's organizing um, so many convergences of light and love. She did a trauma training or trauma healing Zoom room during World Unity Week, and Shri and Kira have a video that's available that you can still go back and watch. That's there at World Unity Week that featured all about healing, and she's a publisher and helps with International Day of Yoga. I mean, she's very involved in many ways in the yoga world, and she has an incredible message today on the Kali Yuga and the message for humanity. A couple minutes that's there at our official Shri and Kira YouTube and Facebook. So I pray you do go check that out. And we have all of our beautiful friends and people here. Some of them are Sign Network and World Unity Week participants, that we get to know and are collaborating with 99 Days of Peace Through Unity. We have Chief Phil Lane Jr.'s beautiful message coming on day 4. And you can tune in anytime. If you feel like you missed the boat, just go back and re-listen to the messages. Hey, I'll be there on day 7 with a message. And you got to love that we got Sue Sturdivant in there, because she's coming on in September. Those of you that know Sue, she's going to be one of our ceremonialists in September. Sue is an incredibly talented, gifted, loving being that has a lot to share. So it's her time as well. So, yesterday we had a message from Master Lady Kira Ra. Shri's going to have an individual message. And then day 9, of course, Shri and Kira together will be bringing in the message that's going to come forward as we move into our July 13th. So I love it. I see more people. Yvonne's sharing. I love that people are sharing, because it is just one of those moments, and it's like there's so many sound bites out there. There's so much going on, and there's a lot of good content out there. So people just are overwhelmed sometimes. If they start looking for events or things happening, there's so much going on. So it's kind of like, why does this one matter so much, right? Because it is about this July, right? It's the World War III. It's the war for your consciousness, where we can break through and we can move through this Kali Yuga, we can move through this time and actually be able to bring peace on earth. And I don't know about you, but like, I just didn't come here and be born 42 years ago to not do everything I can right now. It is that moment of like, you might not get to do it again. That thing that's in your heart, that thing that is right. So coming together for this is one of the most powerful and simple ways we can attend. And you can let people know, of course, to get a recording. It's the most powerful to be there live, but just registering and being in there is contributing your energy. July this is a huge month. It's really a huge month. And, go back and listen to Shri and Kira's show from Sunday. If you're Monday Magic, the recording should be going out any moment. It might have happened while we were on the air, and revisit it. because those ensoulments that were broadcast both on Saturday, one of the ensoulments is broadcast Saturday if you're there for mastery mentoring, and then Monday night you got both the ensoulments that happened when we were in Mexico in the Yucatan. And I know I talked a lot about this on my show last week. I had a whole show over at Shri and Kira with Dana about it, but it's like hard to not keep talking about it. It was such an incredible journey. And, if you've just tuned in now and haven't heard yet, kind of the things that were happening, it was a very multi experience. And I mean, I'm looking through, you've heard us talk about the 5G that happened there and the gigantic cross that was built. Like, I'm still working through some of the toxicity from that. None of us knew it was there. None of us knew the 5G was like that on the Yucatan Peninsula, Sri and Kira least of all. And we were all impacted by it. And it's like really moving through periods of fatigue, really moving through a lot of different symptoms. I'm on mostly the other side. And on Saturday, I get to go and receive from an incredible healer to just help me offload anything else, but that's the kind of thing that's affecting people's consciousness. People that are living in 5G constantly without protection are being bombarded, and they are shrinking, and their level of consciousness just stays so low because they're trying to move away from, like, their energy is trying to like bury itself from the 5G. It brings them down into their root. It brings them into survival. It's like a wild time on this planet, but can we offset it? Yes. And that's the Pyramid of Peace project. And Shri shared so beautifully last night about this. And there'll be so much, and has been, there'll be so much more to come. And I'm going to be at Tosa in 2 days. That's insane. That's wild. And I'm going to see the progress of the Peace Project and the Peer podcast from there next week. If all things go well while I'm there, I can get my live stream out at noon next Tuesday for you all and give some on the ground updates, because that project is so incredible. And I know we're going to have one here at Lake Superior. I know we're going to have, 12 around the world. And that is going to help counteract like the 5G and things. And what we're doing when we raise our consciousness, we will become aware of what's happening without having to say anything. That's the beautiful thing about uplifting consciousness. You don't have to tell people, you don't have to preach, you just have to be it. That's all. You just have to like be in your highest consciousness and call in your highest potentiality and just be, because July is all about commanding your light through the sincerity, love, and presence, the trifecta of self-ascension, sincerity, love, and presence. And the more you can do that, and the more you can be in joy. And that's what really struck me about the trip in Mexico too, was, Kira had shared, like, people go to sites or deities, or representations in nature in this reverence, not that there can't be reverence there, but in this like supplication too. And that really takes us out of the creator zone and just says, this being has the power, or, whether that's Earth or Shiva or whoever you're talking about or whatever you're talking about. So it's about coming to those aspects of creation from the perspective of a creator meeting a creator, and collaborating with, not supplicating to, right? So that really, struck the chord for me, because so often I just see it in people. We get so serious. And like, I'm very spiritual and I'm serious, and we have to have the joy, and the joy, the sincerity, love, and presence is the foundation, and joy lifts us. Joy lifts us and our consciousness. Smiling is a choice. I had Master Lady Kira Ra remind me this yesterday in conversation. And today I was feeling it, guys. I mean, the ego is going to come. Felt it yesterday too. I'm not going to say it was just today. The ego is going to come up and do everything it can to stop you. Everything's going to get thrown at you, and density is everything it can to stop you. It is. So what are you going to do about it when it does? Because it's going to happen. And she reminded me, smile's a choice. Today I was kind of feeling I moved through a lot of things yesterday. It was a good, amazing, incredible day. I had such an incredible weekend, and some of it just wasn't mine either. I knew that. And then today I kind of still felt like a heaviness, because we are getting so pulled by density. And I just like forced myself to smile, even though I was just like not, I was alone. I wasn't like necessarily like feeling it. And you know what? Like it made me start actually crying. Um, how much we hold. How much do you hold that is this sadness or heaviness? And when you realize you can like not have to carry it on your back, but lift and allow the responsibility that you feel to become your wings, not to be the burden of what you carry or the yoke, but to become the wings. When you can smile and just say, I am the creator, meeting the creator in form. When you can ignite your star consciousness and meet another being star to star, you don't have to say anything, but you're supporting the upliftment, right? So, powerful month. And it's all about commanding the light. Are you going to allow the ego and density and all of that goo to affect you so that you forget? Or are you going to embrace your love, your light, who you are at the core and command from there? And it has to be sincerity, love, and presence that leads the way. So notice, when are you in your sincerity? When are you in your love? When are you in your presence? And it's going to be jealousy and greed and these energies that are going to pull us away. And they're subtle. I mean, like, let's not pretend we don't ever feel jealous, right? You wish you had what they had, or why are they getting what they're getting, right? And the beauty is in recognizing it, not denying it when it comes up. Scarcity, feeling like you're making choices from scarcity versus abundance, happens all the time when we go kind of unconscious into our tapes. So it's the witnessing that notices, and that breaks us free to lift. It's not that we're never going to experience those things, but it's like honest to God, like being transparent with ourselves and saying, wow, I saw myself going there. I was feeling jealous or competition or whatever, and this is the moment where we are absolutely breaking free of all of that competition, greed, jealousy, all of it. It's the moment where we are ready to soar. So it's a beautiful moment to notice when that's alive in us, right? And in order to break free from that, so we can command the light of truth, our sincerity, our love, our presence, the collaboration, the celebration of one another. Like, yay, you have a win. Yay, a win for one is a win for all. That's for me. When you see somebody doing something incredible, or having something incredible you want, that's for me, right? The Rev Ike, that's for me. That's for me. And really practice that and try that on, because this month we are getting just like bombarded from so many directions trying to take us off track. And our second chakra is so rich this month. The balance, right? The creation, the birthing, all of that, and that's where we're going to get hit with it. And that's also where we can generate such miracles through. So it's very, very amazing. July is carrying that infinite energy. It's an 8, July 2022, right? It's an 8 in ascended numerology, and that 8 is that spinning lotus of creation that is always lifting us to connect, to connect, to connect. So we have that. And where's the lotus come from? I always love this story. I talk about it a lot, right? But the lotus grows from the muck. The lotus comes from the dark muck, and it needs pressure and friction to break out of its shell. So like even back when I started the show talking about birth, there's this pressure that has to be applied in order to break free, right? And the seed needs that pressure just like us, and it has to grow from the dark, the muck, and spin up into the light. So we have both those elements very present this month, of like where we can be both in a energy of connection and recognizing what's there that could be seeking to stop us, and being witness to it. And it's a very interesting moment for humanity to navigate. That's the word I'll use, the interesting moment. July 8th, being the 8th, sorry, July being the 8th, is this constant spinning energy that's helping us move and really experience that sincerity, love, and presence, right? We're coming together as the masters at the master's table this month. And July itself always, carries the energy of an 11. Just the month July, not 20, July 2022 is carrying the 8, but July itself is always a mirror. It's always got the 11 energy. It's always got the divine harmony, divine energy mirror coming forth. And it's very much this month, it's the butterfly. It's the butterfly coming out of the cocoon. If you have the up level calendar from Shri and Kira, I pray you do. It's a very simple, I think, 444 donation, and it's a guidebook. Even though we're halfway through the year, you can go back and there are many pages of information that support you throughout the whole year. It's very much more of a guidebook than a calendar, and I pray you go get it. But that beautiful image, right, of the butterfly that is July, this is the moment of coming forward and alchemy, right? I mean, you have that symbology of the cocoon and that goes in and turns into this mush, and the mush reconfigures itself into a butterfly that comes out, right? And the butterfly that trusts that process, the butterfly that the caterpillar went in and didn't say, it's just instinctual. It knows what it's going to do. It's going to make the cocoon and go inside, and it doesn't have fear, or but like fear is really a human, other animals do experience it, but people hold on to their fear, um, because we can be so aware of it, and it can really, we don't release it when we have a trauma or things very easily. We haven't learned or remembered how to release it easily, right now at this time in our timeline. So we tend to hang on to it because our consciousness just grabs onto it, and there's so much of it, it's magnetic, right? So the caterpillar though doesn't have that. It just says, hey, I gotta build my cocoon and I gotta go inside. There's a trust, there's an enormous trust that it's just like, it knows, it's a knowing. We have to have that level of trust that your mastery presence is saying, hey, it's time. It's time to be the butterfly. It's time to let yourself go through the alchemical process. Relax, breathe, stop seeking, start receiving. It's that moment. Stop looking outside of ourselves. Be in your cocoon and be you, your butterfly. Receive the gifts that are here from the universe. Remember, remember, receiving is service. To receive is to be in service. The divine loves to give you gifts. When you aren't receiving the gifts, it says, I'm not worthy. Notice what tape is playing. If you're not receiving the bounty of the universe, you're saying, I don't deserve, I'm not worthy, there's not enough, scarcity, some kind of victim tape is at play, right? Remember, to receive is to be in service. Allow yourself to really be sustained by the gift of you, by the knowing, by the activation. What are your dreams? What have you been planting? They're flourishing. You're ready to flourish. You're ready to be here. And to really embrace, the knowing, the blessing, and at the same time, know that it's safe to release that which isn't serving. It's safe to let go of that which does not serve you any longer. And the beautiful practice for this month that Shri and Kira have offered us, right? Taking your fingers and maybe even merping, if you know how to merp, or else just tapping your fingers, igniting them, Do a lot of movement, right? You got to be walking and moving this month. Those are practices too, dancing, smiling. And this practice is to really take your fingers and hold them to your heart center. Breathe deeply and allow yourself to pull away any resistance from your heart. Imagine that these fingers, as they touch, have the great capacity to withdraw like a toxin all that no longer serves you. Breathe in and simply lift away. As you lift it away, your fingers become radiant beings of crystalline light. You feel this energy transmute, transform, and lift as if it has been transmuted by the sacred containers that are always available to transmute the energies of chaos when one is open to receiving this gift. Bring your fingers to your heart again, breathing in again and releasing again. Release all resistance. Pull all of that out like a toxin. Practice that every day, right? And your sea of neutrality. I am here, right? The hands in prayer. I am here. And really let these fingers come around the point and the thumb, coming around the wrist and holding. That sea of neutrality. I am here. Remembering you are the powerful co-creator, powerful one. You command the light. You command the light. You are the light. And remembering when we get to the full moon, the full mastery super moon on July 13th, that it also carries the energy of the 11 of the mirror. It's a great moment of balance. And July 22nd will come together for Monday Magic. Very big wild card moment for humanity, an opportunity of balance. July 28th, illuminated new moon and Jupiter retrograde apparition begins. And we'll come together a second time for a global meditation for the consciousness of humanity to effect positive shift. Remember to take care of you, take time for you, love your body, see what you're creating and what gets reflected back to you. Celebrate how much you've done, how far you've come. Remember what a gift you are. Celebrate all of your victories. Celebrate all of your wins. Sit for a moment today with your coffee or your tea and just take it in. The entire journey that brought you here now, your sacred sequence of incarnation that said, I'll be here on the planet at this time right now for all of humanity. This is our time. And I know I didn't come here. I know I didn't come here to not create the most incredible future possible for my children and their children, to be a lineage holder that would say yes, that would keep going. Guys, we're going to feel it. We're going to feel it. We're going to feel our crap. That's a given. What we do with it, transmute it, love it, see it, love yourself more. Unconditional love was what we anchored in June. Let that carry you in July. Let you carry it in July. Let yourself smile. Let yourself be free. Let yourself dance. Let yourself be in joy. Love yourself more. I see so much love coming in the chat. Loving you. Yes, Pauline, Monday Magic. Okay, it's on the third Monday of the month, but it's around that time we will be anchoring in between those dates of the 13th and the 28th. We will be coming together for our second Monday Magic and doing a powerful anchoring. And yes, thank you, Ashtara. I love you. I'm so grateful to be here with you as well today. Thank you, Angel. And thank you, everyone else that I see watching that may not be in the chat, but you're there at YouTube, you're there at Facebook, or you're there in the recording. Come back, hang out next Tuesday broadcasting from Tosa Blue Mountain. And yes, thank you for the well wishes and the love as I get ready for this journey. And I'll be carrying each and every one of you with me. And I will see you on July 13th as well. Keep spreading the word, keep being incredible, keep being amazing. I love you all so much. Really, thank you, because without you, I cannot be me. And I bow before you. Namaste, my loves. You've been listening to Soul Fusion Cafe with Jess Juntunen. Connect with Jess and learn more at her inspiration hub, selfascensionstudios.com, and over on Instagram at JoyLoveJess and Soul Fusion Cafe Radio, or over at Facebook at Self-Ascension Studios and Soul Fusion Cafe Radio. Thank you for listening. See you next week. Namaste and many blessings.